Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I want to go to the Daily News. They're saying depression rates rise fast for young U.S. teens. I will counter that and say that, well, I'm going to agree with it, and then I'm going to say that it's not just U.S. teens that are being affected by depression. It is everybody. The pressures that we face now are unbelievable, even compared to prior to social safety nets and the establishment of the cradle-to-grave type of coverage by the government. We're still seeing, just if you compare the two, totally different dynamics. You know, where before the Great Depression, families banded together and they got by. And if you didn't, the fear was, you know, well, I'm not going to survive, won't have any shelter, my kids aren't going to be cared for, this kind of thing. Today you have Medicaid, today you have unemployment, today you have welfare. It's a little harder to go down that road. You can, but it's a little harder to do it. But now the pressure is keeping up with the Joneses, the societal pressures to maintain and adhere to societal standards that you may or may not agree with, or that you may or may not be able to handle because you're not wired that way. And so all of these things play into it. It says it's enough to give you the blues, but depression is on the rise in the U.S., and young teens are the most susceptible. That's the eye-opening finding of Columbia University study, said to be the first to identify trends in depression by gender, income, and education. And the research, of course, analyzed the depression rates among Americans aged 12 and up over a 10-year period, ending in 2015. So a 10-year study. And in general, the rates rose from 6.6 to 7.3%. So on the rise between the ages of 12 to 17, and increased from 8.7% in 2005 to 12.7% in 2015. So on average, an increase of 7.3%. Study was led by an expert named Renee Goodwin of the Department of Epidemiology at Mailman School of Public Health at Columbia. And based on findings from 607,520 respondents to the annual National Survey on Drug Use and Health, targeting people ages 12 and up. Now, major depression, they say, is associated with significant disability, morbidity, and mortality. This according to the author in the Journal of Psychological Medicine. And I'm going to stop there and kind of give my 2 cents on it, because I can tell you from somebody who suffered with it and continues to suffer with trying to live a life based on the way that I see I should live on it. But I'm fighting against the tide of what society says on how I should live my life. Everybody suffers with this. There's a huge conflict going on. See, this didn't happen in 1929 and prior to. 1929 and prior to that, even during the Great Depression, people's fear wasn't keeping up with the Joneses. People's fear was, how am I going to eat today? And that's what contributed to depression back then. There wasn't these societal standard pressures. Everybody was dead ass broke, you know, or at least on a level playing field. A lot of people say that's not the case, but it really was. And today, it's different. You have children that are addicted to social networking, not the good components of social networking, the bad components, the cliquish, the spreading the rumors, the pressures of the culture in public schools, and all of these new things that have kind of sprung up as a result of social networking. Again, you know, social networking can be a very good tool, a very beneficial tool, a way that we can instantaneously connect with each other in ways that we've never been able to in human history. But the problem is how it's being used with our young, and then as they grow older, what do these habits, the foundations that they're developing? And remember, folks, you know, it's just like a house. The most important component of the house is a foundation. If the foundation isn't solid, then the house isn't going to stand. And so this house that you've built, you know, as your child reaches that age of atonement, that adult age where they become responsible for themselves, you're seeing a lot of them not being able to do it successfully, or that house is not solid and it shatters. It falls to the ground because that foundation that was set is not concrete. It's sand. And so we really have to become aware of where the root cause of the depression is, because we can't look at it as, oh, it's because of morbidity, it's because of disability. No, that may play into it, but it's such a minor portion of it. And they're focusing on the wrong things. What we should be focusing on is people are not allowed to be who they were designed to be. It's that simple. If we were just able to live our lives without the fear of being screwed with, without the fear of government intervention, without the fear of, oh, the neighbors are peering through their blinds again, because this is the type of environment that we've created for ourselves. I mean, none of this is going to change. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. The more government control there is, the more rules and regulations there are for us to adhere and to follow, the worse the depression is going to be, because it runs counter to who we are, which is we are sovereign individuals with free will. The more you try to take that free will away from people, the more it's going to have conflict with ourselves, and it's going to cause depression and other things, other side effects. That's really what this is all about. They say depression frequently remains undiagnosed, but it's the most treatable mental disorder. Yeah, I would say it is. Let's just stop trying to babysit one another and let us live and let live. And if we did that, I would bet you this depression thing would be a thing of the past. At least then we could worry about being depressed over things we, I guess, would have a good reason to be depressed over. But societal standards and dictates, government intervention, all that kind of stuff is totally and completely avoidable. It's in our hands to fix it. It really is. And popping a pill is not the answer. That's just treating the symptom. Really, we need to fix the problem. The problem is the societal standards, the construct as it exists, is not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And sooner rather than later, we're going to pay the piper for it. And when we do, it's going to be catastrophic. You know, and it's just another one of those things where humanity shoots itself in the foot time and time again. We shoot ourselves in the foot. The road to hell is paved by good intentions. Let us put these standards in place so that every child can have a chance. Yeah. How are our children today faring against the times where there wasn't as much government intervention, where there was much more personal responsibility? How are our children today who stay at home till age 40 and even higher? And I'm not poo-pooing that, because I am a family-centric individual. Personally, I think, multi-generational housing is the solution to the problem. But you have adolescents today, young adults, that just cannot enter society and be successful because society's stacked against them. So they choose to go to their security blanket, which is mom and dad, and instead of cleaving together, it ends up causing conflict and more depression. So very easy fix if you ask me. However, very difficult if you continue to buy into the construct and you continue to follow these rules and regulations, these standards that have done nothing but deteriorate and just destroy what was once a very successful, vibrant, and at one time free country. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. #WakeTheFlock up. Have a great day, everybody.